Well, everybody, welcome to Fundamentals of Criminal Law. What you're watching now is the introductory video for the course. During the semester, you will be watching a lot of these really exciting or not so exciting videos, which is the way I will be presenting the material for the course, and also be doing weekly updates on what's going on during the week. So you get to watch a lot of these videos. This is a 16-week online program. It is not a self-paced course. However, you can work ahead. There are deadlines that you must meet. Failure to meet these deadlines could result in a reduction in your grade. If you miss too many, your grade will be reduced if you don't get things in on time. So keep in mind, you can work ahead, but you cannot work behind in the class. I'm going to reiterate that several times during this presentation. Well, before we get started on the fundamentals of criminal law, we'll look at the course in the syllabus and what's expected of you. I'm going to give you a little bit of background about myself. My name is Craig Foss. I'm the department chair for the Criminal Justice Department here at Alvin Community College. I've been teaching here since 2014. Prior to being an instructor here at the college, I spent 34 years as a full-time police officer here in Texas. I started my career, I first was commissioned as a reserve deputy constable in Harris County back in 1977 and became a full-time police officer for a very short time in Beaumont in 1979. Again, the city of Beaumont did not see eye to eye. I kind of didn't really like it in Beaumont. Went to work in Galveston in 1980. I liked Galveston. I still like Galveston, though I live on the mainland now, but I still spend a lot of time on the island. I spent 21 years with the Galveston Police Department. The majority of that time I was in the ID unit, the identification division, the crime scene unit. I was a fingerprint examiner. I was a polygraph examiner. I spent time as a patrol officer. I spent a year as a patrol sergeant. Spent a year as an auto theft detective. Did a little bit of everything in the department. Did some computer programming. And spent 21 years there, retired, and went to work for the Dickinson Police Department, where I spent another 13 years as an officer or detective working, both doing forensic work for the department and then doing the fraud investigations and major case investigations, because we didn't have enough crime against persons to warrant a full-time detective on that, so whoever was on call when a major crime went down got that investigation, so we kind of shared those responsibilities. Really enjoyed working there, but I went back to college and finished my college education. For those of you that are been in community college for a while, it took me about 7 years to get my associate degree. I finally got it at College of the Mainland back in 1982. Kind of going part-time, on and off, changing my major once, so forth. I then went on I was going to get my 4-year degree in short order, went on to the University of Houston in Clear Lake. I was there for a couple semesters, and then this little lady named Alicia decided to come visit my house and blow it away. So when Hurricane Alicia hit in 1983, I finished that college semester. I took a year off so I could rebuild, and that year ended up going into 23 years. When I was attending LEMIT, one of the instructors was from Midwestern State University, which is a old school up in Wichita Falls, old state-supported school. Kind of talked about an online program they had. My daughter was in high school, and I figured, well, this is about time to go back and finish my degree. I promised my father I would finish my degree at one time, and he was getting old, so I went back and finished my degree. I'm happy to say that I completed it before my father passed away, and he did attend graduation with me that I hadn't planned on going to. I then went on, because I enjoyed college a lot better as a mature adult than I did when I was younger. I will say I couldn't have done an online class when I was in 18, 19. In fact, part of the reason it took so long to finish my associate degree originally, when I went to the University of Houston right out of high school, they had pinball machines there. if I were winning and I had won free games on the pinball machine, yeah, I sometimes miss class. It's not a very good reason to miss class, by the way, so please don't do that. As I matured, it was a little bit different. I had a little more incentive and enjoyed it more. I decided to go on for my master's degree, and did get my master's degree from Sam Houston State, go Bearcats, and actually started teaching a little bit at the University of Phoenix, and then came out here to Alvin College on a recruiting mission, and was told about the opening that the former department chair had left, and decided to apply. And, I wasn't really expecting to get the job, but I did, and I'm really glad I did. I really enjoy working with the students. So with that said, now you know all about me. One of the first things that you're all going to do is you're going to tell us about you. There will be an introductory quiz. We're going to get to that in a minute when we show you what to do on the weekly content. And that's where I'm going to have you introduce yourself, tell me a little bit about you and about your hobbies, your degree, and so forth. So let me go ahead and get out of the way, and we'll talk about what's going on in this course. Okay, so when you log into the course, you should come up with this screen with this beautifully designed logo, actually done in Word. Not much of a graphic designer, but this should get you in the right course. The material on the left, or your little board over here. Let me go ahead and go to the student mode so we get more of a view that you will get than the view I get. I'll probably have to switch back because things aren't going to be visible. But this is going to be the view that you will get. On the left, you've got the dashboard, which is going to include things like your announcements. If I have any course announcements, they'll show up here. There's a link to the Tutor Me. I haven't known anybody that used that yet, but it's available. An online tutoring. We used to use a different one here. This is a newer one. Your to-do things, it may look a little bit different on everybody's screen, but it's there. Next, you'll start with the course material. We've got Start here, weekly content, exams, and case reviews. You'll have 2 case reviews. We also have communication links, email. That's the way you need to communicate with me. You can call me, but I may or may not be in the office, and there's no record of it. So if it's something that you want a record of, definitely send me an email. You can follow it up with a phone call, but have that email. Have a direct link to the discussion boards. You're going to do quite a bit on the discussion boards this semester. We've got My Grades, so you can check your grades. We've also got a virtual meeting room. We probably won't use that in this class. I use it in my report writing class. And then we've got some other links, link to technical support. If you've got Blackboard issues, you would click on that. It takes you to a page where you can read some things or put in a trouble ticket. The career coach, the library, and then a link to tools. There's probably nothing there that you'll use other than the email link, which is above here. So you get a direct link to that. So let's go ahead to the Start Here page, and we'll start talking about the course. On this page, I've got links to the syllabus. We're going to go over that in just a second. Another link to My Grades. Then I've got the course calendar. This will be, is most likely going to be the calendar used for the entire semester. Sometimes things occur, so we'll have to make adjustments, things like bad weather and so forth. But typically speaking, particularly in an online class, this is going to be the calendar you'll use. And you'll notice that we're going to be covering about a chapter a week. Some weeks it's going to be a couple chapters in this course. You'll have a quiz on each chapter. You'll have discussions due, an original and a follow-up due each week of the semester. With the introductory discussion, the rest of them, you got a plagiarism, a paraphrase exercise, which is a very brief thing. You've got 15 different discussions that have to do with your exams. Actually, they're exam review discussions. And then we've got a discussion, a second discussion to kind of put everything together for this course called Name the Crime that you'll have to do in week 15. And in week 16, there's a final discussion. This is really kind of a review of the course and so forth for you to kind of look at. And again, that's kind of a feedback discussion for me more than anything. Also on this page, you'll find a link to the course hours, my office hours. That's when I'm in the office. You can contact me, and there's a send email link. So another way to get to the email. I've got a link to the Respondus Lockdown browser, which is the browser that you'll need to do to take your exams. It doesn't allow you to go anywhere except to the particular page where the exam is. You have to use a camera and a microphone. It's our proctoring system. For accreditation purposes, we have to have proctored exams. And instead of making you come to the campus or go to another proctoring center, we do this online. It tends to work out. We will be giving the introductory exam using this. That's where we test it to make sure it works with your computer. The alternative to this, if it will not work to your computer, is you come here either during my office hours and take it in our testing room here in the Criminal Justice Building, or we make arrangements for you to take it at the testing center. They do close very early and so forth, so best option again is to take it using the Respondus Lockdown browser. I've got a little video that you can click on and it will tell you all about the Respondus Lockdown browser. I promise you it will. There it goes.
Okay, everybody, in this short video, I'm going to show you how to...
Okay, so you can watch that video, you can read the instructions and so forth. It works with most computers. It does not work with Android tablets. I believe it will work with the iPads, but just about not any other, like the phones or anything like that. So you actually need a computer to work with. You do need a camera and you need a microphone. You can pick those up for less than $5 at Walmart here in town. They don't have to be the best. The camera I'm using on this is not an expensive camera. And I'm told the library actually has some you can check out if you can't afford it. Quite frankly, it's a lot cheaper than the price of the book. And the other thing, well, I don't show the link to the textbook. I'll add the link to the textbook on here. It's actually the state penal code or the Texas laws. You will get a copy of it. You can go through the school bookstore. It'll give you the ISDN number. You can also order it online, whichever method you want. So let's go ahead and take a look at the syllabus. This is where we're going to tell you what we expect of you this semester. Most of it's pretty standard. Some of it's a little different from my courses, particularly for the online. So pay very close attention. While we're at the point, the first week, the first things you need to do besides introducing yourself, there is a quiz that you're going to have to take and make a 100% on, the introductory quiz, and it's going to be over this introduction, over the course syllabus, and over the plagiarism, APA video that will follow this one that you're going to watch right after you watch this one. So everybody pay close attention during this so that you can make it 100% the first time and don't have to retake it. If you have to retake it, it's no big deal. The questions don't change, so it's not a big issue there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at the syllabus as soon as it loads. It is in a PDF format. I'll enlarge it. First thing on here, and I told you I was going to mention it, it gives you the name of the course. This is actually CRIJ 1310 IN for Internet. And then you will have a big notes. I want everybody to realize this. It's not a self-paced course. The major exams must be taken in a proctored setting, either on the student's home computer with Respondus Lockdown monitor software, or any other computer. It doesn't have to be your home computer. It can be a friend's home computer. You have to have the software on there, and it does require the webcam and microphone. Or you can take it at the ACC Testing Center, or if during my office hours you can come up here and we'll let you take it at the in our testing center. Make sure you make arrangements before you come. The next thing on this, and the rest of this is pretty much standard. Well, not the rest of it. This part is standard information. The communicating with your instructor. The official means of communication is through email from your college email address to my college email address. You You can't send email to me from your home address. If you do, you may get a canned response from me saying I can't accept email from your personal email. You may get a response because, quite frankly, sometimes I don't catch that the email did not come from the school email address. But if I notice that it came from a personal email, I cannot respond to personal emails. So I will simply say, hey, email me again on your college account, and then I can answer your questions. This has to do with the Privacy Acts and the FERPA Act for the college and school privacy. My email is simply cfoss@alvincollege.edu. If you need to email me, I generally respond within 24 hours. Quite frankly, I'll respond. Sometimes at night. I spend a lot of time at home doing my online classes. That's good and bad. It's good because I don't have to be here at the college, and I do my work from home. But it's also bad because I'm doing my work from home. So, but send me an email and I will most likely respond within as soon as I can when I see it. Particularly if it has to do with an exam where you're having difficulty with the exam and so forth. Sometimes I'll be away from the computer, so if it's over a weekend, it may not be. I may not respond until Monday, but I will respond. You can also call me on the phone. If I'm here during my office hours, I'll answer. But again, if it's something that you want documented, make sure you do it by email. And you can do both ways. This course is a study of the criminal law, including applications of definitions, statutory elements, and defenses and penalties using the Texas statute and the model penal code and case law. We're just going to stick to the Texas statutes mostly. And the course also analyzed philosophical and historical development of criminal law and criminal culpability. Upon successful completion of the course, the student will be able to identify elements of crime and defenses under Texas statute and so forth, classify offenses and articulate penalties for various crimes, compare culpable mental states when assigning criminal responsibility, assess the impact in history and philosophy on current criminal laws, and evaluate the application of criminal laws to other areas of criminal justice, such as law enforcement and corrections. There are no prerequisites. Again, go to the Alvin bookstore to find the ISBN number of the book. Kind of the course overview. We're going to start off with an overview of the constitutional issues that's found in your book. Then we're going to go through the penal code. We will also be doing case reviews, so you're going to be looking at the some criminal cases to see how these laws are applied. The course schedule that I just showed you on the Start Here page is also reflected in here. You're going to have 3 major exams and a final. The major exams are going to contain 50 questions. The final will contain 80. And they will include questions that come directly from the quizzes you're going to be given. You're going to have a quiz over each chapter during the semester. Now, in order to take a quiz, you must have passed the previous quiz with a 70 or better. And there's one exception to that. Before you take the first quiz, you have to pass the introductory quiz with 100%. And then you can move on. The video will then be available to you and the quiz will be available. You can retake the quizzes as many times as you want, and since the quizzes are worth the same as a major test, you can help your grade considerably if you retake them until you make 100. Also helps you with studying. The major exams, you will be able to take them when you have completed all the course material that is required for that section. So the first exam is going to require you to complete the introductory discussion 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think maybe 5 in this course. I'm not positive of exactly which ones. You also have to do the quizzes, and you have 70 or better on all those quizzes in order for that exam to be available. Once you do that, it will be available. You can complete the course early, but you can't complete it late. Now, in order to go to the first quiz after the exam, you'll have to have taken that exam. You don't have to make a 70 on it. can't retake it. So, but you will have to have taken the exam before that next chapter will be available. If you turn in late work, 10% will be deducted for each late assignment. A second late assignment will be given a grade of 0. There's only 2 assignments that we really have that this is regards to, and that's the case reviews. You've got 2 different case reviews. We'll go over them when we get back onto the Blackboard segment. Participation, discussion, you need to participate. You've got to watch the videos, you've got to take the quizzes and so forth. We'll get to the class absences. We'll talk about why that's really important. Academic honesty is vital. In the criminal justice field, you do not want a background investigator to come here to the college and see that you got a academic probation for dishonesty. That will probably kill your career chances. You've only got 2 papers to write. They're both case reviews. They typically take less than an hour to write. It takes you more time to find the case that you want to write about than actually write it. Don't buy a copy. Don't get somebody else's copy of it and submit that. There's that plagiarism video. Watch it. Look at how you paraphrase things. Do the paraphrase exercise, and it'll be a lot easier for you. Use the template, and it will put it in the APA format that you need to do. If you're not sure about the APA format, here's a link that will show you how to write things in the APA format. Now, quick grading summary. We've got 3 major tests. They're worth 15% of your grade each. A final exam, which is worth 20%. The 2 case reviews are worth 5% of your grade each, for a total of 10%. The quiz total is worth 15%. So you can get 100 points for those quiz totals very easily. There are 10 questions on the quizzes. The question order changes, but the questions don't. The other thing that you should do well, discussions. As long as you post the answers to all of the discussions and do the follow-ups, you will get 100 points for that, and that's 10% of your grade. So be sure to get all of your material done in a timely manner, and then your discussions will be, you'll get that 10%, 100 grade for that 10%. The grading levels, it's A, B, C, D, and anything below 60 is an F. So just kind of the 90 to 100, 80 to 89, and so forth. If you've failed to complete coursework to the point where you're dropped, or you're not dropped, that you get an F because of non-participation, you will get the grade of FX, which is just an indication that you failed, not because you couldn't do the material, but because you failed to do the work. Before you withdraw from a course, there can be certain ramifications. There's you're only allowed to drop so many courses during your college career. There's a 6th level drop. Talk to your advisor on this. It could have ramifications on your student aid, financial aid, and so forth. There's a link to the grade appeal. If you want to appeal a grade, you follow it in the catalog, and you can see how to do that. Go ahead and make an A, and you won't have to worry about that. Then we'll talk about class attendance. Class attendance is important, and in a online class, there's no time set to do anything other than there are going to be deadlines to get things done. So if you want to do all your coursework at 3 o'clock in the morning, I've got a lot of people work nights, that works out for them. That's fine. There is an exception to that. We do have, for some of my courses, we have on-campus presentations. This class does not have that. You can do things in advance, but you cannot do them after it. Your participation will gauge by meeting the course deadlines. So each week, you'll look at that schedule. You've got to read some material, watch a video, take a quiz. Sometimes there's a couple videos, a couple quizzes. You also have to participate in the discussion boards by writing an original post and follow-up. You also have maybe a case review due that week. So if you complete everything that is due that week by the time it's due, then you will be considered present. So that is where your attendance is. At the end of the week is when I will check to see whether things have been done. So typically everything's due for the week by Wednesday. Thursday is when I will check. So if it's due on Monday, I'm not going to check till Thursday. So you kind of give you a little extra time. I put the dates due so that kind of gives you a goal, so you spread out and don't come to Thursday and Wednesday night and everything's due all at once. So kind of hit those deadlines and you're fine. You don't have to hit a Monday deadline because I'm not going to check to see if everything's done till Thursday morning, but you have to hit the deadline by Thursday because that's when I will be checking to see what's done and will mark you late or mark you absent. If you do nothing that is due that week, you're marked absent. If you do some of the work but not all of the work that week, you're going to be marked late. Now, what does this mean? Again, it's going to be marked on Monday of the week, but it won't be marked till Thursday because that's the day I'm going to look to see if you've completed all the material. If you are late twice during the semester, that will be the equivalent of one absence. So if you miss a complete deadline, you're marked absent, and then you are late on some material another week, you'd have 1.5 absences. If you have the equivalent of more than 3 absences, then you will lose 1 letter grade for each additional absence equivalent. So, let's say you don't turn in any material for 3 weeks, and then you're late on material 1 more week, well, you've lost a letter grade because that's more than 3. If you have 6 weeks of late material, that's a lot. That's, there are only 16 weeks in the semester. But if you turn in late material 6 different times, and then you have a 7th time, then you lose that letter grade. And if if you're absent 5 times, you're going to lose 2 letter grades. So kind of think about this. You've got deadlines, you've got to meet them. And also keep in mind, all material must be completed in order to pass the course. Everything. You've got to participate in every discussion. You have to take every exam. You have to turn in both case reviews. Just missing one assignment will cause you to fail the course. You cannot complete the course unless you complete everything. That is a course requirement. Completing everything is a requirement. Because I allow you to take retakes and because of the way it's set up, there are no dates for deadlines in Blackboard. So Blackboard's not going to warn you when something's due. You need to look at your course and your course outline so that you'll know when things are due. The weekly content tab will also show you. So just pay particular attention to this. You got to get things done in a timely manner. Now, if you're really bold and you want to complete the entire course, this first week, more power to you. You could complete the entire course, probably not in a week, but within 2 or 3 weeks. Some of you, that if you're on vacation and this is the only thing you're doing, you could go through the entire course rather quickly and take all the exams. The only thing that you will not be able to do, and you'll have to go back and do, is the follow-up post to other people's post in there. So you'd have to remember to do that. But other than that, you can work ahead as much as you want, take all the exams you want, and again, do that at your own pace as long as you meet all the deadlines. Now, the rest of the syllabus is pretty much standard information off of the template that we have for the syllabi. So you can kind of read through them. They give you the college rights and so forth. So now let's go back to the course outline, and we're going to now look at the weekly content. And in the weekly content that comes up, you will see everything that you need to do each week. So for week 1, we've got view the introductory presentation. Hey, you're doing it right now. This is this presentation. View the APA presentation. Select your case review topics in the case review tab. We'll do that. We'll go to that tab in just a second. Introduce yourself in the introductory forum. Complete the paraphrase exercise, which is going to be what we will look at from the APA plagiarism video. If you do not already have Respondus Lockdown Browser on your computer, install it and then watch your video to familiarize yourself with it. You will need it to take the introductory quiz and the major exams. And again, you're going to take the introductory quiz using this week, so you need to complete that. It's not difficult to use once you get used to it, but it's you need to test it with your computer and so forth. So kind of be sure you do that. You can scroll down and look at what we're going to do in each week for the entire semester. Now, if I go to, we're going to go to week 1 in a minute, but if I go to week 2 now and click on it, what is going to be visible is the discussion and then kind of the guidelines of what we're going to do the week at a glance, everything that was due that we just saw in that previous one. The reason nothing else is visible is you must participate in the introductory discussion and to make a 100% on the introductory quiz before the video and quiz for chapter on the overview on Texas legal guidelines is visible to you. So once you do that, those would be right here, right above this discussion board. So let's go back to week 1 and look at what is there for this week. So again, this video right here, the updated version of this video will be right here. Here's the APA presentation, which also includes the plagiarism. I've got a little video on how to navigate Blackboard if you're not familiar with the way I navigate Blackboard. This is a link to the discussion. So click on that to introduce yourself. What it's going to do is tell you that you've got to create a thread before you look at the video. And once you click on that, then you will put all the information in there about yourself. And then you can read other people's and respond to them because you need to do that. So let me go back there. And again, briefly introduce yourself. Tell us about what your degree plan is, your major, what your career goals, what you're doing now, and so forth. Paraphrase exercise. There's an article from the newspaper. I want you to read it and simply paraphrase it. Follow the paraphrase exercise. The Respondus Lockdown Browser, the introductory quiz that requires a lockdown browser is located here. If you click on it, it's not going to let you take it because, well, it shouldn't let me take it because I'm not in the lockdown browser. And in this case, what it's doing, it's telling me that I have to enter a password to take it because I don't have the browser loaded on here, and you'll have to use the browser to take it. You won't need a password. Let me go back. And, well, let me try to go back. Right. Okay, well, apparently it opened it in a different link. I don't know why I did that. It hadn't in the past. But anyway, you'll have to load the browser, and also here's another video on the browser, same link as you had before on the previous page that will, the start of your page, so you can get that loaded if you don't have it. So that kind of shows you that, and I did mention that we'll go to the case review tab. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it, but we'll tell you that you need to select 2 different case reviews. I've got a video right here, that about a 13-minute video.
In this presentation, I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking.
That will tell you all about the case reviews. One's due October 10th, or one's due the 7th. This is not a report on your topic. This is a case review. So follow the instructions above. To select your case review topic, simply click on this link right here for case review 1. Now, case review 1 is going to be on a precedent-setting case that was heard before the U.S. Supreme Court. These are cases, kind of the famous ones, like Miranda versus Arizona, Terry versus Ohio, and so forth. And I guess I can delete these names out while we're at it, because this is from a previous semester. So you will select one of these. You may look around, read them real quick. Go to scholar.google.com, and you'll be able to find your cases. Watch the video from the on that last page. It'll tell you more about that. The second review that you've got is going to be, hang on a minute, it's going to be for a Texas case only. So you have to make sure that you look at the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals and Texas Court of Criminal Appeals only. Excuse me. And you've got a topic, and your topic has to be the basis for the appeal. So if you pick GPS tracking, the person that's appealing the case had to say that the police illegally used GPS tracking without a proper warrant, so you should overturn my case type situation. So you've got two of these due. Be sure to watch the video. Be sure to use the required template. There is a template, and you've got to use it and nothing else. Now the other tab we've got here is the exams tab. And again, we've got another link to Respondus Lockdown Browser. When you have completed the required material, the different exams will show up. The discussion topics that we will have for each week are going to be kind of a case, exam review for each chapter. And you will have a link to these discussions available to you on the weekly tabs. With the discussion, for some reason, some of my students were having difficulty downloading the files from the discussion tabs, so I've added them in here. It's just kind of a second place to download them. And to get them in there, for the first one's an overview, you want to right-click on it, and then you will say Save Link As. If this is in Chrome, if you're in Firefox or one of the others, I think they say Save Target As. But save it to your computer, find out where it is. Once you open that file up, it will allow you to fill in the blanks. Give it a second, it will open it. This is a Google Docs opening it up instead of that. So simply, whatever your term is, and actually the first one, chapter and term, there's no answer for that one. So the Fourth Amendment, what is the Fourth Amendment? What's it cover? What's it have to do with us? And you might want to put the page number from the book or the chapter from the penal code that this can be found in. That's for future reference, because you'll be able to use your notes during the exam. So if you have this printed out for you, it will work out in your favor. The other thing that you want to do is you want to save this, and then in your discussion you want to upload the file. Let me go to one of the weekly pages and I'll show you how we do that. Go to week 2 and we'll click on the discussion, and I've got to create a thread in order to participate in the discussion. You would title it with whatever, chapter 1. I don't have my glasses on so I can't read it, and your name. That way everybody knows who you are. And then simply all you have to do is click on attachment. You hit browse my computer. And it should browse your computer. And then, okay, eventually it should open. There you go. And then you would pick the, whatever the file is. And when you click, well, my picture's in the way. Let me move this over out of the way. And then you click submit, and then it will show up on the discussion boards. So now it's here. You click on it for you to read it. You can also download everybody else's by right-clicking and save link as. For most discussions, I didn't like attachments, but in this case, for these new discussion boards that I'm utilizing, the attachment just seems to work out a whole lot better. So that's about it for the discussion. That's about it for what we expect this course. I'm looking forward to working with each one of you, looking forward to meeting you online. And if you have any questions, remember to send me an email and I will answer them in the best way I can. This should be a great semester. You'll learn all about the Texas Penal Code. You'll learn some laws that you've never heard of. You'll learn some things that you thought were against the law that maybe there are a lot of little things that you just don't realize within the system if you haven't haven't had it done. If you're a police officer, been through the police academy, then you probably this will be more of a refresher. I keep the laws up to date, so every 2 years they change. So 2019, I've got a bunch of updates. 2021, I'll have more updates and so forth. So that will be with the fall semester forward. Well, that's it, guys. Be sure to watch the APA plagiarism video, take the introductory quiz, and participate in the introduce yourself and paraphrase discussions. We'll talk to you later.